Hello and welcome to Allen Tech. Today I'm going to be talking about Western Governors University and what it was like to get a bachelor's degree from them. We're going to be, as ever, riding the NC 700X. So, today we are talking about Western Governors University and getting a bachelor's degree from them. You can also get master's degree from them. I might still do that. I don't know if I will or not. But I just kind of wanted to give an overview because it's not quite what I thought it was. It's not bad either, not at all, but it's not what I thought it was. So how should we begin? I guess from the beginning. So I discovered I have an associate's degree, but everybody's snuffing me because I don't have a bachelor's degree, so I need a bachelor's degree. So I'm looking at traditional colleges in my area and being like, you know what, I really don't want to go $40,000 in debt to get a bachelor's degree, and they're not going to accept any of my classes that I took at TSTC in Texas. So what am I supposed to do? Well, Western Governors comes along. I find them in my searches, and there's some other ones like it. I think Southern New Hampshire University, something like that. They're very similar. So I look it up and I'm like, oh, okay, I can do Pell Grant, and it's not going to cost me a whole lot. It's going to be a couple $100 for 6 months. So I looked that up and I decide, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So I talked to a counselor. They supposedly waive the fee. I think they waive the fee for everybody. I don't think there is actually a fee. If you can find a link, they'll waive it. So I talked to somebody and they're like, yeah. Here's something that kind of surprised me. They're like, yeah, it's tough to do online classes. Like, you pretty much have to interview to get accepted. I mean, you'll pretty much get accepted if you say you still want to do it, but they're like, yeah, it's hard. I mean, you don't have somebody necessarily pushing you along like you do in a traditional university at like a local level. So it's tough. You got to do it on your own, a lot of it. So I get into it and I'm like, okay, well, I need a bachelor's degree, so I'm going to do this. So I get in, they have like an orientation class. It's really easy. Essentially just tells you to be a good human. Don't be bad. I did find that they had, and this may be it's maybe a good thing for you and maybe a bad thing. It didn't really bother me because it didn't personally affect me at the time, but they do have some woke stuff going on, like some diversity stuff. Whenever I started, their introduction video had some trans people in it, things like that. So, I mean, it didn't affect me. It wasn't really pushed on me. I don't necessarily agree or agree with it, but as long as it's not pushed on me, I don't really care too much. So it's like, okay, whatever. So now we get to we actually get into the semester. So, and the semester is not too bad. The first two classes are like recaps from my previous thing. I do 2 classes in a week, and my mentor, which they assign you a mentor, I should have said that. They assign you a mentor to help you and kind of help you and push you along a little bit. So she's like, wow, that's really great. So here's the next class. So I get the next class, and then I'm like, wow, I am stuck on this. It's super hard. It takes me like 3 weeks to do the next class, and then the next one is my first certification, which is ITIL4 for IT, and I can't do it. I take the certification and I miss it by one question from passing. So it's tough. So that kind of sets the precedent for the rest of it. It's just like, I don't like to give up on things. It's really hard for me. But I'm like, you got 6 months to do so many classes or you don't get financial aid. And I'm 4 months in and I cannot do this class, and I still need to do this class and at least another one. So I'm trucking along. I studied for like 2 months straight on this, on and off essentially. And then finally I pass it with enough, like barely pass it. So then my next class is, it kind of follows a similar thing. There's classes that are ones you take a test on, which is most of the IT stuff. And then they're kind of, as you get towards the end, it's more, oh wow, it's gotten a little darker up here. It's not quite as green as it was. Still green over there though. The testing's a little different. So they want you to have it where they can see you and your computer. It's not just you. Like some of the certifications, they just want to see you. Like you can't get out of the frame. But the Western Governors people, they actually want to see the camera. The camera sees you and your like keyboard and computer screen. So it's a little bit annoying that way. It's kind of hard to make sure it's set up just right. And you have to have a very clean space. But so we get to the papers part, and the papers are fairly simple, straightforward. They just take a while. They just take a while to do correctly. So it really depends on how well you jive with it. The online classes was really hard for me. I like doing with my hands. I like touching, doing, and I like having an instructor that I can get to, which is one thing I should really preface that actually. For the IT, I don't know, it may be different in the other ones, but for the IT, it was pretty much all external resources. So you'd have the class or you'd have the certification program, and they would send you to LinkedIn Learning or Lynda or some kind of other program to learn from. And there was never their own instructors. Now the instructors did like little mini classes about certain subjects. They do those about every 2 weeks, and it would be a nice time where you could go in on like a little Zoom meeting thing and ask questions, do what you needed to. But the classes were stuff you could find elsewhere. So they really don't have like instructors teaching their own classes, which I found kind of, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting like to have either pre-recorded lessons or tuned into lessons by their instructors, and that's not how it worked. So that made it really hard because they didn't control the material, they just sent you to it. So it's very difficult it didn't quite necessarily match up with the questions, or if you were doing a certification, you're at the mercy of that external learning resource. So we're going along, and you can, I mean, if you're really on it, you can do this in 6 months. I mean, if you could average a class or two every few days, you could do it in 6 months, a year, easy. If you really jive with the online thing. And I mean, even me going I think I went 2 years, so 4 semesters, 4 6-month sections. I'm only out about $1,200. No. I'm only out about $2,200 for everything. That's not counting the laptop I bought to do and stuff like that, but it's very cost effective. I have a bachelor's degree for $2,000. Now granted, I did have my associates, and because I had my associates, I got to skip all of the general ed courses, which was super nice because that's like 12 classes that I did not have to do, of stuff that would be very boring to me. So that's kind of how it went. I had great mentors. Vicky was who I started with, and Fred Marshall is who I ended with, and he was really great. They both were. I got to do graduation in Louisville, Kentucky at the Yum Center, which was at the time the closest one. I missed Dallas by just like a month. If I had gotten done a month sooner, I might have been able to do Dallas, but I didn't, so that was a bit of a bummer. But Louisville was pretty awesome. Town's kind of rough, but the Yum Center was pretty good. Sellersburg, Indiana, where we stayed, was really nice. That's really, I think, what you can kind of expect. There is, yeah, other than that, I mean, it's pretty straightforward going to Western Governors. And I think if you like the online platform, it's really good for you. It's great. But it was a little hard for me, and I can see how it'd be very hard for other people. It's not for everybody. Yeah, it's not going to be for everybody, unfortunately. I wish it was, but it's not. So there is that. But I guess that's going to really do it for me on this particular video. So I'm going to go enjoy this road a little bit more and try to work on another video, and then I guess I will see y'all in the next one. Thank y'all for riding with me today. Bye-bye.